Hey, you. Relationships. Every relationship that we're in has a time frame. Today, because it's Friday, let's talk about our intimate relationships, the ones that we have with our partners, our lovers, our husbands, our wives. Every relationship has a timeline. Do you remember at the very beginning, everything was hot and sexy and lustful, and you just wanted to get to know each other? You have your first arguments. You learn how to compromise. You learn how to share what it is that you want. You set up boundaries in such a beautiful way because you're just like, oh, crazy in love with each other. And as time progresses, we learn how to push buttons to get what we want. And then we learn how to push buttons to get to what we want. As our relationships progress and we become more accustomed to one another, you start losing that lustful kind of sexiness. So as we go through today, think about what's one or two ways in which you can bring that sexy back into your relationship. And just know that when you're cultivating intimacy, has nothing to do with sexual pleasure. Intimacy is about that connection, that depth. It's that when you're sitting on the couch, having a glass of wine or a cup of tea and looking into each other's eyes and talking about your dreams, your aspirations, what you want, where you are, where your shortcomings are, and having that open communication with someone you love, or you can just bare your soul and be open and transparent. If you don't have that, this is a great place to start and be able to create that loving intimacy with another person. And from creating that intimacy comes that sexual, hot lustfulness that you had at the very beginning. Because if you think about it, when you first meet somebody, the first 6 months, you talk about your dreams. You talk about everything that you want. You devour each other because you're creating that intimacy bubble. As we move forward and years go by, it's the pressures of house payments and children and education and being social and work pressures. And we don't take that same amount of time in developing and cultivating that relationship. So, as you're moving forward today, think about what are one or two things that you would like to introduce and bring into your relationship that allows you to have that heated passion for one another. Talk to your partner. It's so important to clearly share what it is that you want or what it is that you don't want, and negotiate a space where the both of you can find that hot passion again, because it doesn't take a lot of time, but it does take effort, and it takes clear communications like you did the first 6 months when you started dating. I hope it works for you. Much love.